All right, we want to respect everybody's time and go ahead and get going on our webinar today. We're super excited that you're here. You're in the webinar about Power BI, supercharging your Power BI, and we're going to talk a lot about sharing your data using Power BI today. So I will introduce myself. I'm David Beatty. I'm the Director of Business Development here at Trinsoft, and I'll pass it over to Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin Sheehan. I'm a self-taught programmer and a Power BI developer from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm the department lead of our Power BI department here at Trinsoft.
All right, thank you, Colin. So just a quick overview of Power BI, guys. So some of you have already been using Power BI, and this webinar is really for people that want to share and use their Power BI reports in a new way. There will be a few people that have never used Power BI. So just in case you haven't used Power BI, it's a fantastic way to visualize data. Think of it like Excel charts, but on steroids. I mean, really, really nice, interactive, all kinds of data can connect into your Power BI, anything from SQL databases to Business Central to all kinds of other finance software, and even spreadsheets themselves and that kind of thing. So we were able to collect all that data and plug it into Power BI and let you visualize it in a fantastic way. And it's something we love doing. Colin is an expert at. And so we hope you guys enjoy learning a little bit about Power BI and how to visualize Power BI today. So we're gonna kick off with a little story about a leadership team meeting. All right, and Colin's going to give us a little more information in a demo here, but I know you guys have all been there. You've got a call or you've got an email saying, on Friday, we want to see the results of this quarter, or we want to see how this last year has gone. We want to see the annual review, something like that. And immediately, a little bit of pressure rises and you're like, all right, what am I going to do? Yeah. And then you remember that you've got Power BI. And so you want to visualize that in a great way, and you want to share that with people in a meeting, in a boardroom or a leadership team meeting or whatever that may be. And so, Colin, what is this person going to do? I'm going to hand it over to you.
Well, for the leadership meeting, especially situations where you could be in a board presentation or a shareholder meeting on sales or a product demonstration at a conference, you're really going to need that that presentation that can give you sort of the wow factor that Power BI can deliver. And that's why we love Power BI. So it can seamlessly integrate with several Microsoft products. One in particular that I'm going to show you today is PowerPoint. And real quickly, I just want to show you how easy that is. So we'll start with a completely blank PowerPoint presentation. And then under this Insert tab up here, in the newest forms of PowerPoint, we have a Power BI button. So click that, and you'll see the visual comes up right away. And then it just asks you to paste a URL from Power BI. So I have one saved that's linked to our Power BI sales report pack, which is available for sale at an incredibly low price that David will talk to you about later. But I'll go ahead and insert that. And then this is going to ask us for a title. Just call it the sales report pack, add title. And there you have it. You have your live data, your actual Power BI report from the Power BI desktop or online version right here inside your PowerPoint presentation. And this allows you to have several different views on just one slide, giving a lot of depth and dimension to your Power BI reports and your PowerPoint presentations. And the best part is that it is actually entirely interactive the same way that Power BI reports are. So if you click on one data point, it will update the rest of the report for you the same way that it does in Power BI. And PowerPoint is actually the not the only way that these Microsoft products can integrate. It also goes to it can integrate with Business Central for our Business Central customers, Microsoft Teams, and individual um, websites. And if you'd like to see any more of those capabilities, please send me an email at csheehan@trentsoft.com.
All right. So the pressure's off, guys. Your leadership meeting is going to go great because you know you can put a Power BI, interactive Power BI report right inside your PowerPoint.
Mhm.
So I love it. So, all right, it's time for a little bit of audience participation here. So we have a very quick poll that we're going to pop up on the screen, and it's asking you about how you share your data now. So it may not be in Power BI, it may be another tool, but how do you share data now? So go ahead and take just a second and respond to a few of those, or respond to this question by picking one of these, and I'll share the results in just a second here. So people that may just be listening to the recording, the question is, what tools do you use to currently share your data? Screenshots, text, embedded Power BI, photocopies or printing things out, something else. Okay. So I'm going to end that poll and let you guys see those results. We have some screenshots. We've got something else, some other options that people are using, a few people printing things out as well. So yeah, and I've been there as well. I've definitely been using screenshots at different times for different things. So anyway, thanks for sharing and thanks for participating with us in our poll, guys. And we're going to move on to a new, our second way. We have three ways today, or this is our second way for you to share your Power BI reports. So Colin, back to you on the second story.
So our second story we're going to tell today. Not only does Power BI make it easy to aggregate and visualize your data, they also make it extremely easy to share your data with people within your organization. So think about reports that you run every day, things you look at every morning. Wouldn't it be nice that instead of having to run those manually, you could receive them in your email inbox at exactly the time you want them to? Well, Power BI allows that to happen. And I'll tell a quick story about a time I wish I had Power BI, and that was at my last job as a financial analyst for a large logistics firm, where every morning I had to run a SQL query to get overnight tracking numbers. And then I had to match that with another SQL database and then send that to the logistics manager. And that took me about 2 hours every morning. If I had Power BI, that could have been in the logistics manager's inbox every morning and I could have slept in for 2 hours. But alas, I did not. So with Power BI, I could have connected those two models on the back end and set it up to refresh itself and send without me ever having to touch it. So and I'll show you exactly how you can do that with one of our Power BI report packs. This is the accounts payable report pack, and this is also available for sale. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up an email subscription. So this is in the Power BI service. So go to app.powerbi.com and find the report that you're wanting. Then on the once it loads and gets to a screen like something like this, you're going to go to the pages on the left-hand side, and you're going to click on which report that you want to send to yourself every day or to other people in your organization. It could be your vendor detail, or it could be the invoice detail, or you want to see what is overdue on your AP at this very moment. So I'm going to go with the overview tab right here and click on subscribe to this report, subscribe to report right here. And then subscriptions is going to pop up and create a subscription. Now you can call it whatever you want, add some recipients. So I might add David to this. And then attach a full report. You can select different kinds of formats, and then a scheduled start date. I want this to start tomorrow morning. And you can have an end date or not. If you want it to send indefinitely, don't select that. How often you want it to repeat. So you can send it after a data refresh, which in certain licensing models, you can do 8 to 48 times a day. You can also do it hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. I'm going to select daily, and then schedule a time if you want that to come to your inbox at 6 a.m. every morning. And you select time zone, and you can save it. And now that will send to your email every morning.
I should add, it's being sent while you sleep, Colin. Is that the idea
Yes,
there?
that's exactly right.
Yeah, you're getting a few extra hours of sleep while your report sends itself out at 6 a.m. So
Hmm.
I love that feature and love that you can set it up as an automatic share so that we can all be reminded about the data because the whole story behind Power BI is that it's insights to impact. You're using these data insights to impact your business in new ways and to make you to allow you to make better decisions using that data. So we love what Power BI does. And as you mentioned earlier, before we tell our last story, I mean, the reports that you're seeing are sample reports, but this is what our Power BI team does all day long, and they love doing that. So if you're interested in some of these reports, this is what Trinsoft, we love doing this part of a great part of our business. And so please let us know. And you can put your name in the Q&A that has popped up there or your email address. And so we could actually share this recording with you as well. I know sometimes you want to be able to follow through these steps, and we've shown you two different things so far. And maybe you're trying to take mad notes, but don't worry about that. You'll get a recording. Just put your name and your email in the Q&A there. All right, so our last story for today, the third story, is about digital signage. And so this story is about the mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, in the mid 90s. So I was alive in the mid 90s. Not everyone was, but I was alive then. And so when he started his tenure as the mayor of New York, he wanted to reduce crime. And so he actually turned to data for the solution. And he created something called CompStat, where he could see where all the different crime was happening across the city of New York. And then he was able to, with the data, he was able to make changes to staffing and that all sorts of different things and really get tough on the crime in New York. And he saw results. The crime numbers actually went down over several years. And so just a quick story for you guys about how very, very practical good data is and how useful it is. And so we're sharing that story, but also thinking of you guys in your instance, how could you use data, for example, in manufacturing on the shop floor? And so Colin has a demo here. He's going to show us about very, very useful data that you could have shown publicly. So think like a big screen somewhere on the shop floor or in strategic locations, because we're all really numbers people. We may not all love numbers, but we all tend to work in terms of like, all right, yeah, that's green and that's good. And so these types of visuals can be really, really helpful for your whole team if you're trying to work around a shared goal or something. So Colin, I'll let you show what you've got here.
So one thing that our clients love is having data at their fingertips, and that is something that Power BI can give to you by what's called a streaming data set, and that is a live updates every second of every day, giving you to the second data from your databases. And one thing that a client of ours is actually love using in their own warehouse facilities is they have four different lines going, and this is not their data, but they have four different lines going at once, and they have this a TV screen that all their employees can see how each of the lines are doing. If one of them is not fulfilling capacity, like line four, they can see exactly when that begins to drop below a certain level. And using conditional formatting, you can see what is doing well, what isn't, and you can take the necessary steps to fix that.
Yeah, what I love there is the instant, even the colors that are there, the instant visibility of what is happening in your manufacturing facility. And if you're not in manufacturing and maybe something else, then you can translate this idea into something that would be useful for your team whatever those metrics are that you guys are following and keeping track of. So, but this is a great example. So thank you, Colin, for showing us that. So we talked first about the leadership team meeting, and we showed you how to use PowerPoint and embed a Power BI interactive report inside PowerPoint so that you can have a successful leadership team meeting, sharing your data in a way that's meaningful to your organization or your company and helping you make good decisions and in the end, improving your business. Then we talked about our email subscriptions. So if you want to sleep in longer in the morning and let these emails get sent out at the time of your choosing, it's fantastic. So another way of sharing this data, especially for people that aren't living in Power BI, they just get this report. They get the link, they follow the link to the report, and they're good to go. And I think Colin helped me out, but anyone in your organization can view the report. They can't do all the edits, but they can see that report. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So you can share that with anyone. That question does come up sometimes. So you can share that with anyone and they can actually see the report. And then we talked about digital signage. So one way would be to have a screen somewhere where you have a group of people in your organization that would want to see this updated data several times a day and kind of keep track of what's happening there. So we've given you 3 different ways to share your Power BI data. And so we want to talk a little bit about an offer that we're going to give you guys today as a thank you for being here. We normally charge $2,000 for our report packs, and Colin and our team have built several report packs that are available for you guys. But we're going to make you guys an offer today if you will email Colin or myself, and our emails are on this screen. You can also reply to the messages that you've been getting about this webinar. But email Colin or myself. Our emails are on the screen right here. And we will do that within the next 24 hours, and we're going to give you one of our reports. And so I will say you need to be using Business Central. So we can build reports on any data and any piece of software out there. But what we're able to do today is if you have Business Central, we can give you one of these reports for free. And that will include the setup and making sure that that's ready for you and your organization. So please email Colin or myself and just let us know that you're interested in this offer, and we will get back to you and you'll get your free report, which will be fantastic for you. So we really want to help you guys visualize your data. So if you're able, then take advantage of this free report. If you have another type of data set that you're interested in, please message us, because we love data. We love making it powerful and informative for your organization and for different companies. And we just love what Power BI can do for people. And it really, really improves their business, because anytime you get good visibility into your data, you definitely are able to make new decisions. So again, our key is insights to impact. So it's very, very difficult to make decisions and have a real impact sometimes without good data. And that's what Power BI does. So thank you guys for being here. And thank you, Colin, for showing us the amazing things that Power BI can do and some new ways for you to share Power BI data. Again, put your name in our Q&A here, your email address as well. And if you're interested in that free report and using Business Central, then just send us a quick message and we will get you set up with a free report. If you're not using Business Central, email us anyway, and we would love to build a Power BI report for you that's customized and show you what's possible with Power BI. All right. So thank you guys very much for being here. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
And we will see you in our next webinar.